In this video, we'll be simplifying complex numbers, and this is the second part. I will put the link of the first part in the description box below. In this part, we are going to subtract these two expressions right here, and we're supposed to write our final answer in standard form. Before we jump into this example right here, let's have a basic review on complex numbers. Complex numbers are numbers that can be expressed in standard form. A plus bi. Our a part here is the real part. The bi part here is the imaginary part. Further, a and b are real numbers and I represents imaginary units satisfying the equation I squared is equal to -1. Okay, going back to the examples that we have here, please remember that there are steps that we need to follow in order that we can simplify these expressions up here. The first step is to multiply the given expression with its conjugate. So in this problem right here, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this. Okay, so we are going to multiply this expression right here with its conjugate and the same thing as this other expression right here. Please remember that to get the conjugate of a given complex number, we're going to switch the sign of the bi part of the denominator. So in this problem right here, since this is 1 plus I, I'm going to multiply this by its conjugate, and that would be 1 minus I, and it should be multiplied to both the numerator and the denominator. So then we do the same thing on the other side right here, but this time around, this would be 2 plus 2i. Since we have a minus I, again, we remember we're switching the sign of the bi part. So this is negative, it turns positive. This is positive, it turns negative. And we multiply both the numerator and the denominator with this conjugate, or with this complex conjugate. And then from here, we go ahead and move on to the second step. The second step is to simplify this expression. So then I'm going to show the work on the side right here. So we are going to multiply these two and multiply these two. So that means I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box in order that I can multiply these two expressions right here. Okay, so I've multiplied it. So what I did was I multiplied the top here, both of these two. So that's 3 minus 2i, 1 minus I. And then I did the math here. And if we simplify this, this would come out 3. And then these two are like terms. So I'm going to combine them together. So that would be a negative 5i plus 2i squared. Now we remember that I squared is -1. So I'm going to plug that in here. So that is 3 minus 5i plus 2 times -1. So I will put a -1 on the I squared. So this would come out 3 minus 5i minus 2. So combine like terms. 3 minus 2 here would be a 1, and so that is 1 minus 5i. So everything on top here will become 1 minus 5i. Now I will do the same thing at the bottom. I will show the work on the side here. So again, this is going to be a 2 by 2 box. So I will put the box up here. Okay, so I multiplied it, so it came out to be, remember that these two are opposite to each other, so we can go ahead and cross this out because that means -I plus I is a 0. So I can cross this out. We're left with 1 minus I squared. And then again, we remember that I squared is equal to -1. So I'm just going to plug that in there. So 1 minus, that's going to be -1 right there. So negative of a negative becomes a positive. So then I can go ahead and write this as 1 plus 1 would be 2. So then the denominator of this whole thing would be 2 right there. And then I will do the same thing for the numerator of these two. I'm going to set up a 2 by 2 box. And then I'm going to set up another 2 by 2 box right here, so that I can simplify this part. So I'm going to start with this. Okay, so what I did was I multiplied these two together. I set up a 2 by 2 box, and when these two binomials are multiplied, it's going to come out negative 2 plus 6i, and then I multiplied this denominator right here. So I set it up I set up another 2 by 2 box, and then it came out 8. So I set it up this way. Now, as you can see here, they don't have the same denominator, so then we cannot subtract them together. So we need to make sure that their denominators are the same, so then we can go ahead and multiply both sides. Since this is 2 right here, I want to make it 8 so that it's going to be the same as the other one right here. So then I'm going to multiply this by 4 and 4, so that if I multiply 2 times 4, it's going to come out 8. So then I'm going to distribute the 4 to each of the terms inside the parentheses right here. So this would come out, so 1 times 4 would be 4 minus 20i, because that's negative 5i times 4 is 20i, that is over 8. So that's the first one. That's minus. Then I'm gonna just rewrite this up here. So that's a negative 2 plus 6i over 8. So then they already have the same denominator. So then I can just write the same denominator for both of these. So that's 8 right there. And then I remember that I'm going to put this inside the parentheses. That's the first one. Minus, I will put this inside the parentheses, the second term. So then this is 4 minus 20i. And then this is a negative 2 plus 6i. So then from here, I am going to distribute the negative to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So then this would come out 4. That's going to be minus 20i. Negative and a negative becomes a positive 2. Positive 2, and then negative and positive will be a negative 6i, and that is over 8. So then from here, we go ahead and combine like terms. So the like terms that we can see from here would be, we have a 4 and a 2, so that should come out 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and show the work up here. So this would come out 6. And then I'm going to combine these two. That's going to be negative 20i minus 6i is a negative 26i. So I'm just going to write a negative 26i right there, and that is over 8 for both of them. Now, please remember that this 8 is a denominator for both of these. So then I can go ahead and set it up that way. So that should come out 6 over 8. And then that's a minus. Then I will combine these two. Remember, 8 is also a denominator of 26i. So that would be 26i over 8. I can reduce this. These are all divisible by 2. So that would be 3 over 4 minus. That's going to be, again, divisible by 2. That's 13i over 4. So this is the difference between these two expressions that we have up here. That's it. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!